If you watched my last video, you'll know I'm in the market for a C8. In that video, I took an initial look at what I'd like to buy, what options I'd like to add, and I also took a look at what it might cost. Since then, I've been twice to a dealer, and I've discovered the stark reality about buying a Corvette C8 here in Australia if you want one anytime soon. Stay tuned and I'll tell you all about it. So the first thing I discussed with the dealer is whether I can order the car I want. The answer is you can put in an order for what you want and we'll try and get it for you. I took that to really mean order what you want, but you're unlikely to get it. I can ask for a 2LT Rapid Blue convertible, for instance, but when the batch of cars arrive that I'm in line for, I may be offered a 3LT Red Coupe. If they don't get the car I want, I can wait for the next shipment and hope there's something that might suit me in that next lot, and so on until I'm offered a car I want. Now, it's not what the dealer told me, but I can see from a list one of my viewers sent me of the first batch of cars arriving in WA, there seems to be a disproportionate number of 3LT cars coming to Australia. This makes good commercial sense for GM, as it's obvious to me there's a good profit for GM in what you get for the approximately 15k extra you pay for a 3LT. I'm sure GM works on the fact this front line of buyers will buy what's available, so they may as well bring in the most profitable models. So the bottom line is, you may order a 2LT, but there's a good chance you'll find only a 3LT available when the batch of cars arrive. And next, most of the cars arrive loaded with optional extras. I saw an example of this in one of the cars the dealer told me was arriving. This particular car was a 3LT Coupe and was optioned up with the Trident wheels, red brake calipers, chrome finish badges, two-tone seats, and the engine appearance package. This lot of options cost $3,580 in the US, which should convert to approximately $7,160 in Australia when you take into account the exchange rate, add the GST and then the LCT luxury car tax on top of that. However, the dealer told me that just the wheels and red calipers alone added $7,000, including the LCT, which means the cost of the options is seriously inflated above their cost in the US for us in Australia. It's bad enough to pay this inflated price for the options, but it's even worse when they aren't really the options you want. I got some comparison prices from one of the viewers of my channel, showing two different dealers quoting very different prices for the same options. I'm not sure how this works, but I do get the feeling the dealers may be playing with the prices to up the profit. The cost of the options in the US is quite openly publicised. It would be a good thing for GMSV to do the same in Australia so we can see what we're getting and what we're paying for it. So let's look at the total price. The Australian base spec car, which starts as a coupe, already has the 2LT trim and the Z51 performance package. And on top of that, it's fitted with magnetic ride control and the front end lift kit. All in all, it's a really nice package, well above the entry-level model sold in the US. Now, GMSV have priced this at a recommended retail price of $144,990, which includes the LCT. But as I said, you may only be offered a 3LT car with, say, 10k in options. So instead of the $144,990 price, there's a good chance you may be looking at around $160,000 for the 3LT, plus 10 grand for the options. But what I was told next makes all that pale into insignificance. The dealer told me that sadly he really had no choice but to add a dealer delivery fee of $20,000 to the car in order to cover his overheads. As each dealer expects to get only a maximum of 8 Corvettes each year, he says the dealership can't cover its overheads without adding $20,000 over and above their normal profit. He told me all the dealers were charging this amount. Now, I'm sure I must be wrong, but this last bit just has a slight smell of price fixing to it. But I won't get into that, and I'm not sure all the GMSV dealers really do have that same fee. This will be my next bit of research. In reality, all these GMSV dealers hold other franchises, and hence they don't rely on the Corvette sales to cover their overheads. But again, I don't want to get into that discussion, as this argument is not worth taking seriously. We all know that the 20k is simple price gouging. And here's the price gouging definition from Wikipedia. It's an act or instance of charging customers too high a price for goods or services, especially when demand is high and supplies are limited. That definition perfectly covers the situation with the C8, high demand and limited supply. Now, that 20k fee is bad enough within itself, but it's actually even worse because it's subject to LCT. The dealer delivery fee attracts an LCT of 33% or $6,600 on top of that 20 grand. And again, on top of that, there's extra stamp duty payable to the state government on that whole $26,600. The additional duty payable works out at just on $2,400, so the dealer delivery fee of 20k actually costs the buyer 29k with the LCT and the duty. So the all-up cost of the Corvette is the previously mentioned $170,000 plus the dealer delivery fee, making $196,600. The duty payable on all of this is $17,694 in Victoria, and I'm using their duty calculator. There's also registration and third-party insurance of about $1,000 to add to that, and the final figure comes to $215,294. Now, this is quite a jump from the RRP quoted by GMSV for the Australian entry-level model Corvette. Admittedly, if it were possible to get a 2LT coupe without any added options, and you could find a dealer who only charged, say, $6,000 delivery fee, you could get one for $168,000. And I think in time this will happen. When that initial group of buyers who want one right now and have the means to pay whatever is being asked, when they've all bought their C8s, the cars will become a little slower to move. This may take 1 more year, or it may take 2 more years. I don't think it'll be more than that. Also, at some stage, you'll be able to order the options you want, rather than what the cars are loaded with. And this will provide a big improvement in the value for money when you can actually get what you want. Now, as much as I want a C8 in a hurry, after much thought, I've decided I'm definitely not paying that 20k price gouge. When I find a dealer who has a reasonable delivery fee, I'll put in my order and see what's available up to around 190k. With an option-free car starting around 170k on road, there'd be room to add some options or even go for a 3LT or even a convertible with minimal options. Finally, how does the pricing work in the US? It seems the majority of dealers, or the good dealers, will sell the car for MSRP, the maximum suggested retail price, if you put in your order and you wait for your car to be built. Unfortunately, with all the supply problems that GM's having, it can take anywhere from 9 to 14 months to get the car. Dealers who order cars for themselves have the option to apply a dealer markup on the car, selling it to a buyer who'll pay more to jump the queue. And there are also many buyers who have received their cars and have put them straight onto the pre-owned market, selling them at a significant profit to buyers who want to bypass the dealer wait lists. Online production Corvette Blogger ran a poll a few months ago asking C8 owners if they purchased their C8 at MSRP. Out of a total of 1,694 responders, 83% said they paid MSRP, with 11% saying they paid more than MSRP. A surprising 6% claimed they paid less than MSRP. Online publication Drive.com has just released an article written by Joshua Dowling, their national motoring editor. I'm just going to point out some relevant paragraphs in the article, and I suggest you read the whole thing. Look for it on Drive.com, and I'll also put the link in the comments section below the video. Dowling begins by saying, research by Drive shows dealer delivery fees for mainstream cars range from $1,000 to $2,500. And the majority of that cost is pure profit. Now a number of General Motors dealers have drawn attention to the inequity of this hidden charge by quoting up to and in excess of $25,000. He goes on to say, there are renewed calls for regulation of dealer delivery fees, a separate cost when buying a new car designed to boost dealer profit, after a number of General Motors specialty vehicle outlets have been caught charging exorbitant amounts of $25,000 or more on top of the profit already built into the recommended retail price of a new Chevy Corvette. Drive has seen invoices that show most dealer delivery fees on the new Chevrolet Corvette range from $3,000 to $5,000, with some between $7,000 and $11,000, compared to the $1,000 to $2,500 for the dealer delivery fees applied to most mainstream new cars. Now, if any of you know the dealers who are only charging $3,000 to $5,000 delivery fees, please let me know. I haven't done the rounds of the Victorian dealers, but I now plan to do so. The $3,000 fee is on top of the estimated profit margin of approximately $14,000 within the RRP for each new Corvette sold, based on confidential data from a number of well-placed sources. Now that's interesting. I was wondering what the profit would be. That amount is pretty good for very little effort in selling the cars. It means dealers who charge closer to $30,000 for the delivery fee are making a profit of close to $44,000 per Corvette, more than twice as much as dealers who charge a comparatively modest $3,000 dealer delivery fee, which carves out a profit of approximately $17,000 per Corvette. Dowling also added, but even using a dealer's worst-case scenario profit margin of $17,000 for each one of 4 Corvettes allocated in a calendar year for a total profit of $68,000 across 4 vehicles, that amounts to about the same profit margin as selling 68 Holden Barina hatchbacks without needing to handle 68 customer inquiries. Now, not only are they spared a lot of customer inquiries as the cars sell themselves, they don't need to hold stock, give test drives, or do any advertising. I also believe the dealers will get more than the 4 cars per year stated. Dowling goes on to mention that Wayne Gillard, a member of the GMSV Corvette Facebook page, has established a Change.org petition calling for better regulation of delivery fees and an end to opportunistic overcharging, in my words, price gouging. You'll find that petition link in the Drive article, but I'll also add it in the comments section below. I encourage everyone to sign it. And I'm really glad Josh Dowling has written this article. I'll keep you informed with any updates regarding my purchase of a C8. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, because it does help the channel to continue giving you the information on Corvette C8 in Australia. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon to receive a written notification every time a new video is posted. But for now, everybody, keep on vetting, and I hope to join you again real soon.